Go ahead, TBH.
Okay. Everyone, welcome to another exciting meeting of Worldwide Advanced Toastmasters Club. For those of you who are celebrating start of Ramadan, happy Ramadan to you. And yeah, so a few ground rules. First of all, we try to keep our videos on and our microphones mute. In case there are no connectivity issues, if there are, then we try to turn our videos off one by one to help things along. And secondly, we volunteer not to create a debate about any controversial topics such as sex, politics. And I'm also supposed to read out the vision.
DTM Talha, your voice is really slow.
Okay.
I thought I am having trouble.
Just a second. Am I audible clearly to others?
You're audible. There's a little bit of a sketchiness to your voice. It's a little bit patchy. Okay. It's not as clear as it's usually.
Maybe it's a connection thing. So, okay, I'll just get it over for now. So, okay. The mission of Toastmasters International is to provide a supportive learning environment where members can develop their communication and leadership skills. This helps members become more confident and grow as people. Members learn how to speak in front of others. Members learn how to lead others. Members gain self-confidence, and members experience growth. Toastmaster clubs often have core values such as respect, integrity, service, excellence. Of course, those are the values. So, with that, I'll hand over the charge to President Toastmasters.
Thank you, and good afternoon to all of you, and welcome to the 56th meeting of Wordwise Toastmasters. Like TBH mentioned, Toastmasters is an organization that's been around for about 100 years now. It focuses on developing people's public speaking and confidence levels. And we at Wordwise, we take that one step further. We are focused on bringing stories to life. There's a Toastmasters mission. There's a club mission here. And the unofficial mission of Toastmasters or Wordwise Toastmasters is hashtag stories should be brought to life. And that's our VP Ed says it, because stories should be heard. That would be the registered hashtag if we ever go and register it. Being a literature themed club, we have several unique segments. We have segments that are really, really out there, like we practice vocal variety by enacting a skit. We have segments which include poetry recitations. We have segments that include extempore writing, in addition to extempore speaking. On that note, let me just speak to a few guests. There aren't many. There's just one, DTM Irfan Farooqi. Welcome to Wordwise Toastmasters. Once again, this is your 134th time that you're visiting the club, and we're thankful for that. Before I ask you anything, I need to ask you, did you play Squaddle today?
Yeah, I played it yesterday night. And
right.
I had a competition with TBH.
Right. Yes, we all have a competition going with TBH. So for those of you who do not know, we also have a very active word gaming club. There are battles with Wordle, with Squaddle, with Octodle, with Waffle. If you're a word gamer, do reach out to Toastmaster Meher. She will add you to the group and we can have daily challenges. So there are a few people who keep on challenging everyone with their scores. One is, of course, DTM Irfan Farooqi. The other is, of course, TBH. And Meher and I, we try to flop around a little bit here and there. But when we win big. On that note, I must introduce our Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day is now none other than DTM Asma, who is being a TMOD at Wordwise after ages, I guess. It's the first time this year, I guess. I asked her for her introduction, and she said, you know what, I'm a finance professional. I've been a Toastmaster since 2020. I'm a VP membership of Wordwise Toastmasters. I'm a president of CA Toastmasters Club. I'm very empathetic. I'm very much an extrovert, and I love talking to people. But here's the thing. I've heard DTM Asma speak some 4 or 5 times, delivering a prepared speeches. And her prepared speeches, they have a curious brand of empathy, a curious brand of vulnerability that comes up. Uh, there is some amount of suffering involved, there's some amount of pain involved. And through these things, she takes us to what she's gone through and better still, how she's overcome. I still remember, those of you know this, there's a certain gas explosion speech that she mentioned. There are
Yeah,
speeches
last
about
year.
her mother and all of. Yeah, it's always a delight to listen to DTM Asma's speeches. And I'm sure that we'll be in for a good time listening to her talking about our minds. Over to you, DTM Asma.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Cyril, for such a wonderful introduction. And I'm really humbled. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, you know, when we were studying in our CA classes, there were a teacher. He was very famous and he used to teach us law. You know, at that time, there were situations when teachers were very strict and you were not allowed to talk, you were not allowed to eat, but he was different. He allowed us, we can grab our tea or biscuits because classes were in the morning and we could be relaxed and discuss anything. And even you can understand how dry law can be, but his classes were amazing. So he used to say something that whenever you are sitting in the class, it's not necessary that you are here. You are lost in your thoughts, your memories, and you don't know. Right now, you can be in your childhood, or you can be somewhere uh, quarreling with someone and having thoughts, okay, he said so, and I should be doing that and this. So every time when I recall him, this thing really strikes my mind that what are we thinking when we are sitting or when we are in people and we are having any discussion. This is the theme I chose for today's meeting. There is this quote that think about what you are thinking about, Joyce Meyer. When I was preparing this, I bumped into it. Think about what are you thinking? How beautifully she had said. Then what are you thinking right now? I have something also bumped into it. That if it does not feel good, change what are you thinking. Candace Kizarni said about it. That what are you thinking right now? If it doesn't feel good, then change about what you are thinking. So this is what I'll be discussing during the meeting. So let me introduce to the segments that we are having today. We have, before that, role players. Okay, we have timer today, Toastmaster Cyril. So I will request Toastmaster Cyril to introduce, brief us about his role, the timings of the segments.
Thank you. As a timer, I shall be the traffic cop who shall be directing the flow of the conversations here. Each segment in Toastmasters, there's a certain minimum time given to it and a maximum time given to it. Whenever it's the minimum time, I shall be displaying green. When you're moving towards a maximum, there shall be a yellow that comes up. And at the maximum time, there shall be a red that comes up. I shall explain these minimum, maximum, and qualifying time whenever I'm called upon before those individual segments. Back to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you. Then we have language evaluator, Toastmaster Meher. Toastmaster Meher. Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Yes, our internet seems to be patchy across the region for some reason. I'm not sure why. Anyhow, I hope you can all hear me well and fine. So today's word of the day is da-da-da-da, drum roll, cryptic. Cryptic. Indeed. And what does this word mean? The word means having or seeming to have a hidden or ambiguous meaning. In other words, mysterious, secret, or occult even. For example, cryptic messages, cryptic prophecies. Cryptic can also have the nuanced meaning of being marked by confusing brevity. For example, cryptic marginal notes. If someone's writing in shorthand, for example, and someone else does not know shorthand, then those notes in the margins being made by reporters or rapporteurs, meeting rapporteurs, will be rather cryptic to the general audience. Cryptic can also be used as an adjective along with the coloration, for example, in animals, serving to conceal. Cryptic coloration in animals. As we know that in wildlife, many animals camouflage themselves to avoid being seen or eaten or preyed upon. So it can be used in that sense as well. And a cryptic infection would be an infection that is not yet recognized. Now, the history of the word cryptic is also a little bit mysterious. It's a cryptic origin. The history of cryptic starts with cryptine, a Greek word meaning to hide or conceal. And there are so many other words that are derived from this origin. Not surprisingly, the word crypt, meaning underground chamber, is one word, and perhaps we have come across that in the Harry Potter series. Also, it is the origin of the word of the element krypton. And there are so many other words that use the word crypt in their formation, such as cryptography, that is the coding and decoding of secret messages, cryptogram, which is communication in code, and most recently in the digital age, cryptocurrency, which is currency that exists digitally and relies on computer encryption, a secret code, to prevent counterfeiting and fraud. So how can we use cryptic in our sentences? Just keep it simple. You don't need to make your messages too cryptic. Just say what you mean and mean what you say. And I will be sharing the word of the day in the chat for your better use. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Meher, for choosing such a wonderful word, cryptic. So I'll try to be cryptic in my theme. And no, okay, fine. So, dear Toastmasters, now let me explain how our meeting will be. We have different sessions, and these are amazing segments, which really each and every segment has something for us that is new, and we always have takeaways from it. So our first segment will be Let's Word It. And it's a segment where we have extempore writings. Our Let's Word It curator will be asking individuals for the topic, and we will be writing extempore. Then we had our episode Odyssey. No, our episodes about prepared speech, where we have prepared speech, and that is we have today one speech. Then we have Midnights, our table topic session. We sometimes have this session, and sometimes we don't have. But this is something I am really looking forward in this meeting today. Then we had Wordsworth interpretive reading, and that will be performed by one of our Toastmasters. Then again, we will be coming back to Let's Word It segment, where we will be sharing our extempore writings. Then we had general evaluation, and that will be taken, the charge will be taken over by the general evaluator, and he will be asking different evaluators and facilitators reports. Now, let's begin the meeting. So our curator, is he there? Do we have our curator with us?
So
Okay.
he has not been able to join, but I can stand in and give
that
topic.
segment. Now I am inviting Toastmasters Meher, one of the seasoned Toastmasters and winner of our video international speech contest last year, 24, 25, 23, 24. And whenever she speaks, we just love to listen to her. So now she will be challenging us for writing something today. So over to you, Toastmaster Meher.
Thank you, DTM Asma. Thank you so much. Seasoned Toastmaster makes you seem really spicy and savory. So let's try and think of a topic that we can all answer a bit more easily. Let's have the topic, name 3 things you'd do if you weren't so afraid. Simple topic, but I'm looking for really heartfelt answers. Or write about 3 things you'd do if you weren't so afraid. Anybody who'd like to take it up?
I'll take one. I'll volunteer Toastmaster Missum and Toastmaster Aiza to join me as well.
Yes, Isa is our ever ready writer of the day. Right. Write about 3 things you'd do if you weren't so afraid. Very simple topic. It's to encourage people to write. And please write from the heart. All right. So we've got Cyril. What about DTM Irfan? What about you?
I would have loved, but unfortunately these days I'm a little busy. So sometimes I may not be online. I have to skip the meeting during the session.
Oh,
So unfortunately.
right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Toastmaster Umar Farooq, welcome to the meeting. Would you like to take part?
Yes, definite, but I am driving, I am on the road, and it's unable to write something for me.
All
I
right.
would love to write, but unfortunately, I am traveling and I'm just listening to you.
All right, that's perfectly fine. If you're still with us at the end of the meeting and you'd like to have a shot, then you're welcome to. All right, so we've got our president, we've got Toastmaster Cyril, we've got Toastmaster Isa, and we've got Toastmaster Nisan, who's been volunteered. Isn't it nice to see you after a long time? So looking forward to what you're going to be writing. And an ISE speech better be in there. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. So before our next session starts, I would like to talk about the theme. So my theme is, what are you thinking? So we have positive thoughts that surrounds us, and we have positive vibes when we attend Toastmasters meeting. But sometimes we have negative thoughts that really hurts her, and we even don't recognize it. So I took a topic for today, rumination. What I'll be telling you about rumination. What is rumination? Has anybody any idea about what is rumination? Anyone? Okay, Meher, what is rumination?
Ruminate. Ruminate, does it have something to do with overthinking? Like, is kind of it, I don't know why the image, when I think about rumination, the image that comes to mind is of a cow chewing over and over what's in her mouth. I don't know, maybe I read it somewhere, is there's some connection, but that's what came to mind.
Yes, very right. Rumination is defined as excessive repetitive thinking about the same event. So we have different types of rumination. What are these? I would like to share my presentation here. Just a moment. I don't think so. Okay, I can share. Can I share? I guess there is some. Okay, right now. Okay, just a moment. I would like to run the slides through. Okay, fine. So there are 4 types of rumination that I found. One is brooding, passively thinking about one's mood or situation in a negative way. When you are in public, you're just thinking, uh, or where you are sitting, you're just doing nothing, but just you even don't know that you are thinking about it, and you have negative thoughts, and your mood is disturbed. Then we have intrusive rumination. Those are uncontrollable thoughts related to a stressful event. Here, I would like to share my personal story that when I was in 9th grade, we had practical external exam. What I did, I signed the document uh, with different signature, the attendance sheet. And you know what happened? Every time I had nightmares that I'm going to get negative marks, or I'll be just marked absent, and I'll fail. But you know what happened? When the result came out, I was passed with distinction. But the situation was that I had nightmares. I used to wake up at night and cry, but I didn't share it with anyone until the result came out. So those were really stressful things that were hurting me. And those 4 to 5 months, I was having rumination. I didn't know what was I was ruminating, but it was until now I know what was happening to me. Then we have reflection, intentional inward examination of one's feeling. This is something this can be also an activity to avoid ruminating. You can have reflection. You can think about it. Okay, I'm having this feeling, and this is because of that event, and what should be doing? We will be doing it to overcome it. Then deliberate. Again, this is something that we are deliberately thinking about it and trying to get the positive side or negative side. When we are doing it for the negative side, and okay, I messed up, I did that wrong, so that's why it will fall. When we are going for negative, it will fall in rumination. Again, reflection, if we are thinking negative, it will fall in rumination. So with that, I would like to start the next segment, and I'll stop sharing first. And our next segment is our episode. And today we have none other than, just a minute. Let me invite the evaluator who will be introducing our speaker. So our evaluator for this episode and speech is Toastmaster Cyril. Toastmaster Cyril for the session, for this speech session. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Asma. For my evaluation segment today, I have a very new speaker. You might not know him. His name is DTM Talha bin Hamid, who will be gracing us with a wonderful speech. This is a level 1 speech. Like I said, he's very new. And it's one of his projects where he needs to deliver a speech for which he'll be given feedback. And that feedback needs to be incorporated in a future speech of his. It can also be a speech where you've already gotten feedback and you need to deliver this speech as per that previous feedback. In this case, it's going to be the first one, given that he's a new speaker. I wish DTM Talha bin Hamid all the very best. And secret note to everyone, TB has got some wonderful speeches. Back to you, TTM Asma. TBH, whenever you're ready, your background is blurred and we can see you well. I shall be putting my hand up so that you can see the timer window. I shall be turning the clock in the back. Green at 5, yellow at 6, and 7. You have the red.
Just a second. First of all, am I audible?
Clearly audible.
Okay, great. Am I visible?
You are visible. Yes, I can see you.
Okay, thank you. So who will be timing? Sorry.
I shall be timing. DTM
Okay,
Asma
great.
shall announce your speech.
Okay, great.
DTM Tala bin Hamid. A 4, a 6, a 6, then a 6, and a 6, and a 4. A 4, a 6, a 6, then a 6, and a 6, and a 4. DTM Talha bin Hamid.
Oh Lord, please give me a 4, a 6, then a 6, and a 6, and a 4. 4. I've paid my dues. 6. Time after time. 6. I've done my sentence. 6. But I've done no crime. 6. And bad mistakes. I've made a few. 4. I've had my share of sand kicked in my face, but I've come through. I am the champion, my friend. I kept on fighting till the end. I am the champion. I am the champion. No time for losers, 'cause I am the champion of Ludo. In one fell swoop, I had murdered my son, one of my daughters, and my wife, and then dropped home merrily, without a shadow of doubt, in Ludo. When we started playing Ludo as a family, especially in the time of COVID, I realized that Ludo is nothing less than a microcosm of the universe. It is the code by which the universe operates. It laughs in the face of relativity because it is your relatives who are out to kill you. Quantum mechanics, your position and speed depends upon how much the universe wants to screw with you. And gravity only acts on your solitary peg, while the others fly and fly and fly away. When we sat down to play, usually it is myself and my kids. Pretty soon it's like the Hunger Games. We seek each other out and we kill each other, knock each other off the board. Until Xenia steps in, makes these googly eyes and says, "Please spare me. See how behind I am. I will never win. I never win. Please, please don't kill my peg for a few more moves." And of course, who could resist the allure of those googly eyes? And we all watch in amazement as a few minutes later, she has killed all of our pegs and is romping home with the first 3, laughing all the way to home. And pretty soon, we all resolve to ourselves, we will never fall into this trap again, only to do it again and again and again. As the game progresses and I start to strategize, see where everyone else is and see where I am and how this time it will not be the same, the door opens. A vision, tall, slender, dressed in red, walks in. She is the Duchess of Doom, the queen of conspiracy, the princess of pain, the monarch of madness. And she has only one agenda. Of course, first she sits down with the children. After killing all of their pegs twice, he becomes benevolent and generous, as if he's their mother, because that's exactly who she is. And when that stage arrives, they have only one enemy, She has fangs hiding in her mouth, and she has serpents hiding in her hair. One look at her and you're dead. And if you don't look at her, you're dead anyway. The carnage begins as she guides and coaxes and advises. All my pegs get beaten again and again and again until there is nothing left on the board but a trail of entrails, blood, sweat, and tears, and maggot-eaten corpses of hope and faith. And there is no option to try again and roll that dice once again, because guess what? Everyone is home and I am the last one. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, that gave me an epiphany. Once you're screwed, you stay screwed. Once you fail, the failures pile up. Once you're behind on the Ludo board, there is no catching up unless and until you land on an exceptional stroke of luck. And if you actually win, you could be sure that you'll pay for it dearly with a string of losses over the next few weeks and months. One fleeting moment of glory will result in an endless stretch of pain and misery. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, of course, there are lessons to be learned with every loss, but there's also something to be gained. Do you know how to be popular? How to get accepted and admired by everyone? I have one simple adage. Keep getting exploited and do not say a word, and you will be the most popular person on the planet. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the one thing I gained in all those long sessions of Ludo. Yes, I lost and lost and lost, but I formed such a bond with all of my children, and of course their evil mentor, because no one is more generous than the one who've gotten exactly what they wanted. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot change my fate, but I can change how I react to it. And I believe that that precious bond is a small price to pay for my pain and misery. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Amazing. I really like your speech. That how have you just playing a Ludo game, you have connected it to our real life scenarios and how you have trained your children and created the bonds with them. Wow, super. Now, let's back to the theme. So let me share my screen. So, just maybe. So what are the causes of rumination? Negative experience in childhood or low emotional intelligence? You know, we sometimes bump into the people who have really low emotional intelligence. Everything that is happening, they start blaming themselves and they feel more miserable the way they were feeling. This is more important in order to find out that this is because of rumination and they have to address it. One of the most important thing of rumination is it has chaining effect, where one thoughts triggers another and then another until you forget what where you even started. And that's the tricky part about rumination. Sometimes it feels like thinking, but in reality, it's just our mind running in circles. It's like just chain. So whenever you have cycle of overthinking, just ask from yourself, is this reflection or rumination? Is this thought helping me or holding me back? Do I need to let go of this thought? So we have few symptoms of it. What is excessive thinking about painful topic or behavior? Sometimes we have even minor accidents, but we think about it that something big has happened. And we have concentration problem. We lost focus on what we were doing or what we were having conversation, or what are our targets, what we have to do it. We have loss of energy and motivation. Just a minute, you know. Those people who have rumination, they talk more. One of my friend was having rumination, and whenever she was talking to me, she was just excessively talking, and she was not realizing that what she was saying even, and she was repeatedly thinking about it and discussing it. She she had lost interest in even usual activities. She was not seeing anything worthwhile. There are physical symptoms like excess sleep, even fatigue. People sometimes think that they are having physically some problem, they are having deficiencies, but in reality, they are having rumination and they are not identified. Now I'll back to the meeting and request my table topic master. So before that, I will introduce her. Is our table topic master is ready? Yes, we have Aarti Bandekar. She has joined Toastmasters in November 2020 with Sobo Toastmasters, where she served as Associate Secretary, Associate PR, VP PR, VP Membership. Wow. And then President. And in 2023, she was the youngest district finalist of District 98 in International Speech Contest. Her hobbies are whatever she finds, anything that will bring fun. She likes sketching, bothering people, that teaching her new skills, going to gym, understanding the world of paranormal, wow, psychology, aliens, and ancient civilization. Wow, we are having a wonderful topic session. With that, I'll invite Aarti to take the charge.
Thank you so much, DTM Asma. In fact, I was just telling Toastmaster Meher that I've recently just developed a new hobby where I like to creep my friends out. I usually do it with paranormal stories, but this time, today, I'm going to do it by putting you all on spot. So, welcome everyone to the vignettes round. You may know this commonly as the table topic session, and this session will help you build on your impromptu speaking skills, so your active listening and thinking on your feet skills. Okay, so is everyone ready? I have some really good topics with me, and friends, as you know, you only need to speak for 1 minute to qualify. The bar is that low. So I hope to see participation, active participation, and I request the Zoom master to please help me spotlight the volunteers and to help me identify some if no one comes up. All right, who's coming up next? First. Meher, would you like to try? I know you know the topics, but no, actually, 1 second, Meher, I'll take you for the next topic. Whom should
Okay.
I take for the first topic? Isa, would you like to try?
I'd love to, but I'm working on something. The
Oh,
That's
just
worded
2 minutes.
on. What
Go
is
go
it?
go
Is
for
it
it.
right?
Go for it, Isa. Just 2 minutes.
Just
Go
2
ahead.
minutes. Okay. Uh, okay, Isa. What's a small act of kindness that left a big impact on you? I repeat, what's a small act of kindness that left a big impact on you, Toastmaster Isa?
Oh God. Okay. I don't know why this immediately pops in my head, but I think as much of us girls would know how safe of a space the girls' bathroom is for some reason. It's like there's a bunch of us who are saying, "Oh my God, this looks good, this looks that." And I was in a bathroom once. I did not know what I was doing, and I was trying to, fix my hair, and I couldn't get it fixed. And there was this girl. She was like, "Come, come, come, let me braid it for you." I don't know who she was. Never met her before. Never have I seen her again. Never did we exchange numbers either. But somehow she like brushed my hair, braided it, made it so pretty. I was like, "Oh my goodness, thank you." And after that, she just disappeared, like into the mall, somewhere in some shop. I have no idea where she went. I don't know who she was. But goodness me, that little like moment, I felt so good the whole day. I was like, "Oh my God, look at my hair." But it was such a fun thing. Thank you. That's the best I could do.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Isa. In fact, it makes so much sense. I think girls' washroom is one of the safest spaces, and getting compliments from girls, or when a girl does something for us fellow girls, it just hits different. It's a different high. So yeah, that was a very good take on the topic. Next, I already have my eyes on Toastmaster Meher, but I will need one more volunteer. So, who would like to come up? TBH, would you be up for it? I need 2 volunteers for this topic.
I think Cyril raised his hands.
Oh, Cyril, you want to go for it?
Go for it, TPH. Go for it. TPH is ready. Go for it.
I have enough topics for everyone, guys. Please don't
Yeah,
fight.
she has amazing topics, man.
Okay, I'm up for it. Yep. All right.
Cyril, I'll take you for the next topic then. All right. So this topic is for TBH and for Toastmaster Meher. The topic is that one of you has to play a person break a fast, and the other has to be a dramatic food vendor tempting them. Are you with me? I repeat. One has to play a person breaking a fast, and the other has to be a dramatic food vendor while tempting them. Do you need me to repeat?
I got it, but who's who? You gotta choose.
You all can decide.
TPH
can't hear you,
TBH, I can't
TBH.
hear you.
Can't hear you. गला घोट दिया गया है TPH के इंटरनेट का. It's
Am I
unmuted.
audible?
Yes,
Oh, you now
yes,
here
I
we
do
are.
hear you. Oh yeah, you're
Okay.
back on. You're back on.
So, okay, one is the person who is fasting, right? And the other one is your dramatic food vendor.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And
I'll
the
be the
other?
person who's fasting.
Right.
Is that okay? Yeah, because I think you
Yeah.
can. You're good at playing the devil's
Tempting.
advocate.
Fine.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Go for it, guys.
Okay.
Hello,
Oh my.
brother.
Sorry.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. It's just what's the time exactly? How much time is left till the fast
There's
was?
about 8 hours to go. You're already counting the time. Madam,
Oh my
you
God.
must be so hungry. I can
Oh.
feel your pain.
Can you? I don't think so. He thinks he can keep eating my pain. Here I am. I've been running around all day teaching these kids maths, and they don't want to learn. And I have to stand there and talk and talk and talk and talk. Oh, I'm ruminating. Oh gosh. I'm just, So
Thanks for
thirsty.
that, thanks for that bit of patronization. No wonder you must be the most popular teacher in your class. But you know, I went hungry for several days. Like I did not eat for an entire month. So don't you try to lecture me on whether I can feel hunger or not. That's what I'm trying to change. Here is my stuff. Samosas and
Samosa?
sandwiches
Samosas?
and
You call
boras.
you call those samosas? What do you have in them?
Well, we have all varieties. We have meat-based ones, we have potato-filled ones, and it has the most divine flavoring. And look at this sauce. Have you seen a sauce like that? I bet you haven't.
No, I haven't. What's the
And
time now?
and we also have Chinese chicken egg rolls.
Oh my God.
And if you insist, I can also arrange the world's most divine slider.
The world's most divine?
Slider.
I've never
Little one. Yeah.
I've
So,
never had one.
well, it's never too late to start, because by not having had a slider in your life, you wasted most of it. But you can make good now. It's never too late to get back on track.
You can say
So-
that again. Oh God, I have to go home and sleep. I can't take this anymore. Back to you.
And I will throw in one free if you buy two. How about that?
Bye.
Okay, give me the money. Bye.
Thank you, folks. Well done. I think we can all officially conclude that Toastmaster Meher is nearly impossible to tempt. So I invite you all to take this up as a challenge by the end of this meeting, and let's see who can convince her to break her fast. Samosas didn't work, so that's one tip for you there. All right, we'll move on to our next victim. I mean, volunteer. So I saw Toastmaster Cyril had raised his hand, and I have a fitting topic for you. Toastmaster Cyril, are you ready? I'm personally
Yes,
interested
I
in
am.
knowing this answer. All right, Toastmaster Cyril, you wake up with the power to hear people's thoughts. What do you do first? I repeat, you wake up with the power to hear people's thoughts. What do you do first? Toastmaster Cyril.
I wake up with the power to hear people's thoughts. Now, this is the first thought I'm going to hear. And the thought is, I don't want to wake up. I don't want to go to school. I can read a thought so well. The other thought that I'm going to hear is usually from my, let me talk. And the other thought that I'm going to hear is usually from the house help, because I end up waking up much earlier than that. Oh my God, that guy's woken up. Abhi chai banane ko bolega. Now he's going to ask me to make tea. And then I guess the other thought that I invariably end up hearing is, oh my God, why did he switch on the light? Can't he just know that there are people trying to sleep here? Why does he have to wake this early? And then I step out of the door, try to close the door as gently as possible, and then take the lift, go to the ground floor, security. Are phir se aa gaya for his morning walk. Why can't this guy just sleep and let me sleep? Well, these are the thoughts that I'm sure that I will be hearing. Rather, this is the thought that I normally hear. I actually have that superpower. I also have a superpower to know all of your Google search histories. Yeah. All right. Here's looking at you, some of you. Yeah. All right. Yes. But here are the thoughts that I actually hear. Wow, you're up. You're such an inspiration. I'm ready to go to school. And the other thought, man, he's woken up earlier than me today. You know what? Tomorrow I'm going to surprise him with chai. The other thought, wow, the sun is up. Oh no, it's a light. That's a wonderful light. Stuff like that. So I have a wonderful life here. And yes, back to you, Aarti, Toastmaster Aarti. By the way, your thought was, did he just exceed his time? No, I did not.
Yeah,
I'm
I
keeping time
was.
here. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Cyril. But you know, you left us on a cliffhanger there. When you almost exposed everyone's Google search history, you really had me. So I really hope you had completed that thought. And with this, we will move on to our next speaker. So, Toastmaster Irfan, would you like to come up next? Are you there?
After, yes. After so many good speeches, what would I be doing? But yes, I am available.
Oh, perfect. I like willing victims. So, your topic, Toastmaster Irfan, is what's a tradition you never understood as a kid but now love? I repeat, what's a tradition you never understood as a kid but now love? Do you need me to repeat it?
No, it's okay. So
Over to you.
there are a few things that can be considered as traditions, and there are a few things that are practiced, may not be considered as traditions, but families try to enforce them. That's good, it's good, it's good. There had been a few things in my childhood that my father used to teach me, tell me, and wanted to persuade me to do things. And I hated all of them. For instance, two important things. Number one, morning walk. At early morning, before the sun rises, my father would wake up and he would shake me up. Come on, let's go for a morning walk. And I, it's too early. And he said, no, come on, come on. And he would make me go for a morning walk. And he was very a practicing person for the walk, but I never liked it. Number two, eating vegetables in your lunch and dinner. And I used to say, vegetables are for goats and goats are for us. Why should I eat goat food? Let goats eat what they want to eat. And now, when I'm gone old, how strange it is. I like to walk, but I don't wake up my kids to go with me for a walk. Things are changed. They go to gym. I sometimes join them as a gym. Number two, a very strange thing that has happened. I have started liking vegetables. Whenever in my home they prepare a vegetable food, I like, it's okay, it is tasty. Why I didn't like it in my life? I have tried to blend. Let's mix the food of vegetables and mutton. Let's mix them and let's eat both tastes. Life is changed when you get old. Table topic master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Irfan. And I must say, you've come a long way from not liking vegetables. I think that was the most shocking part for me, from not liking vegetables to now enjoying them. And you've chosen such relatable themes because I believe all our parents think that if we wake up early in the morning before the sunrise, all our life's problems will be sorted. So very well done, Toastmaster Irfan. And I, how many more speakers can I take up, Toastmaster Meher? I have a few more topics.
Sure,
Oh,
you have
Toastmaster
time.
Cyril, the timer. I have time.
Yeah.
So, Toastmaster Mohammed, would you like to try? Next topic. Seems a little distracted. Hi. Would you three more topics?
Yes, why not? Thank you, Aarti, for actually, my wife is gazing me. Of course, married my wife for a look, but not the kind of look she is currently giving to me. So, I was looking at that direction. Thank you very much for inviting me. Now I'm with you in this meeting.
Toastmaster Mohammed, I think I have the right topic for you right now, and you might want to invite your wife to hear you for this one. So
I
your
will
topic
never.
is
That will be a clash of that will be a clash of of interest. I hope
I think this
everyone
topic
wants to.
will, yeah, I think you'll get away with this topic. So Toastmaster Mohammed, your topic is what's the funniest unspoken rule in your family? I repeat, What's the funniest unspoken rule in your family? Toastmaster Mohammed.
Thank you very much for the topic. The funniest unspoken rule. I have recently said somewhere that nothing is more embarrassing than to see idiots succeed in enterprises where we have failed in. In my family, there are the people I don't like. And when last time, for example, I was trying to search the cooling button on my remote control for my EC first time. So I just forgot the symbol of cooling symbol in my air condition. So my mother-in-law rescued me, and she correctly pointed out the appropriate button and repaired it for me. Thou, I have, we have, we have not spoken with each other, but that was something I felt insulting as well as funny. Insulting because, someone succeeded me, which I don't like. Funny because it was such a basic thing that it should not be forgotten. But I unfortunately did. Uh, these are small things. I mean, it is just one instant. And I think I'm allowed merely due to the time constraint to narrate just this incident. And here I am. And I think they are insulting, but as a for in the context of this meeting, I would like to take it as unspoken thing, which is funny. We didn't mention it to each other, and that is what I have to say. Over to you, Aarti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohammed. I think sometimes the, the the ladies just know best. Mothers, wives, they know best, and sometimes it's a difficult pill to swallow. I have an
I would
engineering degree, and my mom knows more than me, so it's a little embarrassing.
I would like to say one thing, that it is the very first time that I have heard Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar appreciating his mother-in-law. It is a change. It's a great change.
But you didn't
You're
hear
seeing
his
first here.
cast your mind back to his opening statement.
TBH, I couldn't hear you. I guess that's only me.
Toastmaster Arti, one more topic.
Yeah.
Just one more topic.
One more. If I have just one more topic, I've got to make the best of this. And I'd like to call upon two speakers because I see two people haven't had a chance to share their thoughts. I see Toastmaster Gulezera. Did I get your name right? Toastmaster Gulezera and Toastmaster Mesum. Would you be up for it?
Yes, I am here.
Hi. You here? Guys, can you all unmute and turn your videos on?
I can't turn my video on because I'm switching
No
between
problem.
kitchen and the meeting, and I'm not wearing a
No
hijab
worries.
now. Yeah.
No worries. We will support your superhero side quests. And with that, I'll actually give you a simple topic. So the two of you need to share a time when someone helped you, and the other has to talk about a time when they were helped. Are you with me?
Yes.
So you all can have a conversation in which Toastmaster Gulazera can tell us about a time when someone helped her, and Toastmaster Mesum can talk about the time when he helped someone. Do you need me to repeat? Toastmaster
Okay.
Mesum, you look a little confused.
Yes, I understand.
You got it? Perfect.
Yes,
Can we start?
sure.
Okay.
Over to
Hello,
you guys.
Yeah, Misam, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Gulisara?
I'm fine as well. Do you accept help usually?
No, I don't. I'd rather be the one who helps the people out.
Okay, because I believe I do accept help, and I think it's not just the conventional form help arrives in. Don't you agree?
Yes, I do.
Because I remember once I was walking on a very narrow road, and we were concluding a bike purchase when one of my friend he just said some words of wisdom, and I was kind of wondering, he has just helped me know something in life that I wouldn't have otherwise. Have you ever come across something like this?
Yes, I have. I also helped out a friend to buy a bike, but my help
Mhm.
is usually not helpful. While my
Why did you
friend,
do that?
yeah, while my friends were buying that bike, the bike was supposed to was the demanded price was 1.5 lakhs,
Okay.
and I was wearing a helmet to check how good it is. He bought a
Okay.
new one, and I couldn't hear what they were dealing. So when I took off the helmet, they had already decided upon, the seller already said that I will give it for 1.25 lakhs.
Okay.
And I took off my helmet and I said, डेढ़ का दे दो भाई, 1.5, it's fine.
Okay.
And while I was helping them out, my friends took me to the side and beat me up कि तू अपना
Okay.
मुंह बंद रखा कर.
Okay. Then what was the final price of that bike?
It was 1.25.
Okay, having said that, I believe it's your presence that would have helped him, and it's not just your words. Of course, there was a bit of a conflict of interest that happened, but I think it's the presence that mattered. Just like the words of my friend mattered to me, it was your presence that mattered to your friend. I hope that answers your question, Aarti.
Yep.
Thank you so much, folks. I think this was very well handled. The topic was, in hindsight, a little tricky, but I really love how you two handled it. Toastmaster Gulizera taught us that we need to be kind to ourselves, and Toastmaster Mesum quite hilariously showed us that kindness can sometimes backfire, even if you intend well. So, folks, once again, let's have a round of applause for everyone who participated in this session. Coming up as a table topic speaker, I can imagine how overwhelming it can get. So kudos to all of you. And that is my time. With this, I pass on this back to Toastmaster Asma. Thank you.
Yes, DTM Talha.
I need to find out first from Cyril if everyone qualified, and also if I quickly recap the list of speakers, we'll be able to confirm if I've captured everyone.
Yes, absolutely. First, we had Yosef, that is TBH and Toastmaster Meher. Then it was me, Toastmaster CPJ. Then there was DTM Irfan. Then there was Toastmaster Askar. And lastly, there was Gula Zera and Toastmaster Mesun. I'll send you the list in that way so that you can prepare that. Everyone qualified except for the first pair, that is DTM TBH and Meher, who went 5 seconds over time.
Oh,
Toastmaster Cyril, Toastmaster Isa was the first as well.
Oh my God, I didn't
Yes.
keep time at that point of time. My apologies. I put it on chat that I was so blown away by the story that I forgot to keep time.
Yes, sure. We are keeping Toastmaster. That was Toastmaster Isa's first table topic, so no timing there. So on my request.
Now, shall I proceed? Okay. So now I'll share my presentation. Just a moment. So, how to stop rumination? We have discussed what is rumination, how it is, and how it affects us, how is the chaining effect. So we have to do something when we identify it. First and foremost will be recognize when you are ruminating. The first step is awareness. Ask yourself, am I solving a problem or just replaying it? Is this thought helping me in any way? If you realize you're stuck in a mental loop, it's time to shift gears. Interrupt the cycle. Saying yourself aloud, stop. This is how you can interrupt. Then snapping a rubber band if you are facing it multiple times. So this will be like you are in present. It will bring you in present. If anyone has watched the movie Inception, there was an item that will bring them in the present when they realize that they are not dreaming, or start backward counting. This will help you interrupt your ruminating cycle. First is identify, then interrupt. Engage in any physical activity. Okay? Movement changes your mental state. You know, when I'm upset or I have something that I want to distract, I start cooking. I go to prepare a dish. And whenever I prepare a very good dish, it means I have something in my mind. So I transfer my thoughts to that. Exercising, yoga, deep breathing. Okay, we have roots. Okay. So we have distract with a task. You can watch a movie, read a book, or try something of your hobby, like my hobby is cooking, or call for a friend and talk about something unrelated, not related to that topic, but something unrelated. Reframe the thoughts. Okay, if you're means wearing different glasses, I can say, if that you were thinking in that aspect and now you're thinking in other aspect. So, and give it time bound. Will this matter in a week or a month or a year? How this will be affecting us? And if I were a friend, what advice I would give? So, and one of the most interesting thing that I found is set a worry time. Allocate 15 minutes or 10 minutes in a day and allocate it that it's my worry time. All the worriness, all the negative thoughts, I'll be doing it in that bracket, 10 to 15 minutes. And after that, there will be nothing. Means I have to be mentally conscious and I have to be very vigilant on it. And one of the most important thing that before this research, what I used to do, and I tell to everyone was, write it down. You know what is said when you write or you journal something, 80% of the problems are solved. Because when you are writing, you have different aspects and you're looking it in different views. Then practicing mindfulness, like meditation, using your senses, hearing or feeling around. This you can go in park and think to the nature, talk to someone, like talking to trusted friends and mentor. We have mentors in Toastmasters as well and in personal life as well. Then take actions. If your thoughts are about a problem, do something about it. Even if a small step can give you a sense of control. So what I will say, you can't always control your thoughts, but you can decide what you can do about them. The more you practice shifting away from rumination, the easier it gets. So how to stop rumination? These are the techniques I've shared. Further, I'll be sharing about after this segment. So I'll stop sharing And now we have our next segment. Wordsworth. This is interpretive reading segment. And for that, I will be inviting DTM Talha bin Hamid. So DTM Talha bin Hamid, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, let me ask, okay, we have a 9-minute break. That's what I was about to ask our timer. So, Mr. Timer, feel free to talking. How many minutes can I take for this?
Three to
Didn't get
five,
that.
3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5.
3 to
Okay.
5 minutes.
Fine. Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah. It makes sense for me to forget it because I was the one who set the length of the segment myself when the club was founded. Anyhow. So, okay, please don't count this little intro for reading time. It is an excerpt. It is quite a challenging excerpt because it is very humorous, but it's written in very heavy Urdu. And what I'll do is that I will try to also translate it as I go along, paragraph wise. It is from one of Urdu's most famous satire writers, Ibn Insha, and this article is called Ustad Marhum. So it's a tribute to one of his teachers, but it's a satire, a very subtle, very refined satire. So what I'll do is that I'll just start and then paragraph by paragraph I'll try to translate it. No easy task, but I hope that most of you, if not all, will understand, except for a few words here. So let's start. Ustad Marhum. अलादीन नाम था और चिराग तखल्लुस। वतन रिवाड़ी जो गुड़गांव के मर्दम खेज जिला में अहले कमाल की एक बस्ती है और आम के अचार के लिए मशहूर। वहां धुनियों के मोहल्ले में उनकी खानदानी हवेली के आसार अभी तक मौजूद। परदादा उनके अपने फन के खातिन थे। शाह गाजी औरंगजेब आलमगीर ने शोरा सुना तो खिलत व बादशाह देकर दिल्ली बुलवाया और अपनी महल सरा के लिहाफ करने पर मामूर किया। अल्लाह दिया नाम था लेकिन निगाफुल मुल्क खिताब से मशहूर थे। दिल्ली में ये 12 बरस रहे। So his name was Aladdin and Chirag was his title. He was born near Rewari, near Gurgaon. It is famous for mango pickle. Where there in the colony of quilt makers, he has his ancestral home. One of his ancestors was an expert, and he was summoned by Aurangzeb Alamgir to his palace and given a royal charter to fill the royal quilts with cotton. He spent 12 years in Delhi. वजाहत खानदानी के साथ दौलत रूहानी भी उस्ताद मरहूम को विरसे में मिली। ननियाल की तरफ से 16वीं मुश्त में उनका सिलसिला नस्ब 9 गज़े पीर से जा मिलता है, जिनका मज़ार अक़दस पाकिस्तान और हिंदुस्तान के करीब हर बड़े शहर में मौजूद। इन्हीं दोनों निस्बतों का जिक्र करके कभी कभी कहा करते थे, शायरी मेरे लिए ज़र्रा इज्जत नहीं। अपने नाम के साथ नंगे इस्लाम लिखा करते। देखा देखी दूसरों ने भी उन्हें यही लिखना शुरू कर दिया। उस्ताद मरहूम का पूरा नाम उनका हजरत शाह अलादीन चिराग चिश्ती निजामी रेवाड़ी था। हमें हाई स्कूल में उर्दू और फारसी पढ़ाते थे। वतन की निस्बत से उर्दू तो उनके घर की लौंडी थी ही, फारसी में कमाल की वजह ये मालूम हुई कि 25 कुछ पहले उनके मोहरे से आला और आसान से आए। क्यों आए थे, ये सवाल राकिब के दिल में भी अक्सर उठता था। आखिर एक रोज मौका देखकर पूछ लिया और एहतियातन वजाहत कर दी। मकसद इतराज नहीं, दरियाफ्त मालूमात है। फरमाया, बाबर क्यों आया, अहमद शाह अब्दाली क्यों आया। अब जो राकिब ने इस सवाल नुमा जवाब की बलागत पर गौर किया तो अपनी गलतफहमी पर बेहद शर्मिंदा। बाबर ना आता तो इब्राहिम लोदी किससे शिकस्त खाता, खानदान मुगलिया कहाँ से आता। इतनी सदियां हिंदुस्तान की रियाया बादशाहों के बगैर क्या करती, मालिया और खैराज किसको देती। So translation. His family was very highly regarded, but he was also spiritually enlightened because from his mother's side, his ancestry came from Naugazepir, whose mausoleum or shrine is in every major city of India, Pakistan. Sometimes he used to call himself as an insult to his ancestors, as per what modesty dictates. But then others started doing that as well. His full name was Shah Aladdin Chirag Chishti Nizami Rewari. He used to teach us Urdu and Farsi in school. So Urdu was his mother tongue. But how come he was such an expert in Farsi? One day I asked him, and he said that that's because my ancestors came from Khorasan, which is in Iran. Why did he come? I asked him once, and he asked me, why did Babur come? Why did Ahmad Shah Abdali come? Now I was very much embarrassed because of my ignorance. If Babur had not come, who would have defeated Ibrahim Lodi? Where would the Mughals come from? And for this many centuries, what would Indian people do? Who would they have paid their taxes to? So, अरबी के भी फाजिल थे, अगरचे बाकायदा ना पढ़ी थी. अजीजम इसरार अहमद का निकाह खान बहादुर विलायत अली की पोती से हुआ. उस्ताद मरहूम ने ही निकाह पढ़ाया था और कोई कागज पर्चा सामने रखे बगैर. माशाल्लाह, अस्तगफिरुल्लाह, नाउजुबिल्लाह, ला हौला वला, ऐसे ही और कई अरबी के जुमले बेतकाम होते. So, translation. He was also an expert in Arabic, although he had not studied it. He also recited the wedding vows of one of his acquaintances, and he did not even need a paper in front of him. He spoke so many Arabic sentences fluently, such as Astaghfirullah, Auzubillah, La Hawla wa la. So that was my interpretive reading for today. It is, believe it or not, one of the most challenging things I've ever done, because the language, the satire, I don't know whether it translates or not, but I trust and I hope that most of you at least got most of it. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much to DTM Talha for such an interesting reading. Okay, now I will move to the next segment before instead of going back to the theme. So our next segment is coming back to Meher. Let's word it segment. So we have extempore writing over here, and our speakers are ready, I hope. So I'm giving charge back to Toastmaster Meher for her segment. Let's word it.
Thank you very
Let's-
much, Toastmaster of the Day, distinguished Toastmaster Asma. And yes, we are now at nearing the end of our meeting, and we always save the best for last, where we have our extempore writing volunteers present any piece of writing, such as an essay or a skit or a dialogue or a poem, to our worthy audience. And it only has to last for 3 to 5 minutes. So it's kind of mirroring the Tall Tales speeches as well. So those of you who still have not signed up for the Tall Tales competition, this is a shameless self-plug alert, as DTM Tala would say. That's as much time it takes to write a tall tale. Come one, come all. Okay. And by the way, you don't even need to have crossed a level 2 pathway. You just need to be a member. Right. So if someone could remind me of what topic I presented. Because, yes, the top 3 things that we would do if we were not ruminating. I believe I worded it in the way of saying if we were not afraid. But yes, in fact, I was referring to the topic and the theme of the day, that what would be those 3 things that we would do if we were not ruminating or not afraid or not holding back. My first volunteer for the day was Toastmaster. Okay, someone else. Because yes, of course, absolutely. If someone who's playing 4 different roles today gets extra time, VPE's orders. Right.
If I'll go ahead if you don't mind the semi-cooked thing.
Oh, you were saying you want to go ahead.
No, in case Asma or in case Isa or Mesum, you guys are not ready, then I'll go first.
Sure. I will ask them first. Yeah, okay. So whoever is ready, whoever wants to go first.
I
May
feel
I
like
can
we
go.
have to go anyways. Just pick one.
All right, I will do this. Okay. So we can go with alphabetically. So we're going to go with Toastmaster Isa. And let me remind the audience that the word of the day is cryptic. It's not a very cryptic word to use. Cryptic simply means serving to conceal or having some kind of hidden or ambiguous or mysterious meaning. Although Toastmaster Asghar does not mince any words when commenting on his relatives. There's nothing cryptic about it. So over to you, Toastmaster Isa Osmani, for your piece of the day.
Wow. Hello again, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, Meher. So the three things I do if I wasn't afraid. So fear, it's a universal experience, something we all have felt at least like once in our lives, at least once. So let's start with, I remember being a child and standing at the edge of a bottomless abyss, something that's called a swimming pool. But then I'm terrified. Everything's like I'm shaking, trembling. And I get over this fear somehow, this time in the form of my dad, who picks me up, drops me in the water. Yes, Sarah, exactly like that. And somehow my fight and flight kicked in, and so did my swimming training. Years later, I felt that cryptic fear again on results day. This time by the figure of my dad taken by British Council. My palms sweaty, my heart's racing, afraid of the fact that if I had failed, I'd be worthless. In both of those moments, fear felt overwhelming, but once I faced it, I learned something. Fear magnifies the unknown, but obviously reality isn't as bad as we always imagine. Fear protects us from danger and it's in our brains. It's its way of keeping us safe or keeping itself safe. But in turn holds us back from our personal growth. But what if I didn't let it somehow, I knew I couldn't fail, as if I had drunk liquid luck potion, the Harry Potter ones will know. Now, to pull back the curtains of the topic I've been tiptoeing around, the fears of my life and what I would do if I wasn't ever so afraid. So for one, I'd travel alone to unfamiliar places. There's so many places I want to see, from Monaco to Russia to Greece. But there's something exciting yet super terrifying about sleeping in a place where no one knows you. Fear tells me I'd get lost. And in some way, my friends like to call it I'm pocket-sized, so easily picked up and taken anywhere. And that I wouldn't know what to do if I was afraid. And if I wasn't so afraid, I'd obviously embrace the unknown. I'd wander, I'd explore, and I'd immerse in the culture, because adventure always begins where comfort ends. It's not a shoe slogan, but it could be. Secondly, I take up a new skill. Like I've always wanted to learn to play tennis without the fear of failing. Maybe completing my German language, something I've always wished to master, but never did, because growth always begins where fear ends. So if I ever find in myself to pick up tennis or pick up German, I'll let you know. Lastly, I tell people, this is the hardest one of them all, how I truly felt, how their words, actions made me feel. And we'd never do that. And I'm not alone, because we don't do that because we fear misunderstanding, we fear vulnerability. So if I wasn't so afraid, I'd express myself without hesitation. I'd tell people how much they mean to me, how much their words hurt me, and end up standing up for myself and speak my truth even when my voice shakes. So I ask you, what would you do if you weren't afraid? I think maybe the real challenge is that we pretend like we've had our share of the lucky potion, to live without fear and move forward despite of it. Because on the other side of fear lies everything that we've ever always wanted. Thank you.
What a brilliant, as we would say, piece de résistance by Toastmaster Isa. Isa, I love the way you structure your writings. It always, you have this amazing prologue, and then you carry us on into the chunk of your thoughts. And I love how you mastered the art of the triad. Like you give, of course, the topic called for 3 examples, but even within your writings, you were, the descriptions, they had triads, like I'd wander and then I'd do so and so, and then I'd immerse myself. So just a wonderful piece and so inspiring. And indeed, the question that we must ask ourselves is, yes, what do we fear that we can cross those valleys and cross those mountains and find our growth on the other side? I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much for sharing that. And our next contestant would be, or next participant would be, according to the alphabet, Toastmaster Cyril Paul. Are you ready?
Yep. I'll time, or if one of you could keep time, nothing like it. I'll time it. No problem.
Right. Or we could ask DTBH to time
So
you.
here goes. My name is Bhai. Mumbai. Mumbai, ekdam danger place. Where you survive, you got the pace. You gotta be fast, you gotta be tez. You gotta be sure not to win the race. Chota matter bane police case, but a bada lafuda gul without trace. Gafla nahi karna, take it in the face. Kya bolta hai? Jaisa des, waisa ves. I always wanted to be a singer, a rapper, to be honest. Yeah. But I come from a middle class South Indian family where we treat our books as if they are gods. They are truly gods because knowledge is truly worship. And anything that's not related to exploring, expanding your learning was extraneous. Yeah, there was nothing cryptic about this. This was a universal truth. I would actually hide comics within my textbooks. I would get caught because the comic would be the right way up. The textbook would be upside down. You never know. You're so lost in the comic. That's how India lost a wonderful singing talent due to parental pressure. Another thing that I always wanted to, there's a song that goes, ladies and gentlemen of the class of 89 or 99, wear sunscreen. If you guys haven't heard this song, I implore you to Google up the sunscreen song. It's a long speech. Yeah. And it's got some beautiful lines in it. It's probably one of the most inspirational songs you can listen to. You can all imagine that you're hearing that song in my voice. Unfortunately, you can't. I'm the singer that India lost. Well, I would keep getting scarred, not scared by people singing because I would actually think of myself in their boots. It should have been me. But unfortunately, the singer didn't even sing in the bathroom because it was extraneous. I would draw not using pencil. I would draw using ballpoint. I have some examples here. Can anyone see this? It's well, yeah. That's TBH in his younger days, by the way. So there's more. I mean, it's just usually Disney stuff. But the fun part is these are all drawn using ballpoint pen. There's someone that most people may recognize. I don't know. Okay. Oh man. Okay, never mind. So that's Michael Jackson, by the way. Most people draw using pencil. I draw using ballpoint pen. And a friend of mine told me, why don't you put your stuff up on Instagram? You'll be, talent should be shared. And I did. And I used to be enthralled by Tintin comics for a little while, for the briefest point in history. If you would Google up Tintin drawn in ballpoint, my Instagram handle would come up. But then there are so many excellent artists out there for someone who's untrained to be standing on the same footing as these artists. Well, I had imposter syndrome, and truly this time I was truly the imposter. I had to stop drawing. And of course, I mean, you lace it with several other things like, yeah, no time, and yeah, this and that and all that. That's how India lost its wonderful artist, ballpoint specialist. There were several instances in my life when I wish I could speak. I had the spine to speak up, or I had the words to speak up, and I held my tongue because I was scared of the repercussions. In my mind, I would be roaring at those people like a tiger. But in real life, I would be like a mouse, and not any other mouse, Mickey Mouse. Yeah, can't even say anything. For a good part of my life, I said it's because I didn't have the words. I wasn't even aware of what to say. I did not know. Then one fine day, I decided, let's put an end to this. You don't have the words? Go get a dictionary. Go get Norman Lewis's book that teaches you words and their roots and their etymology, so that you can't have this excuse anymore. And I started speaking. I started expanding my words, more vocabulary, so that I can speak. You realize that you have the words, but you don't know what to talk. You're in a situation with colleagues or friends. Well, you just don't know what to talk. Therefore, I decided to read. I read a lot of things, from technology to popular stuff, to pop psychology, to history, and all of that. So that if you're in a room and there are people who are equally embarrassed or awkward like you, put them at ease by talking about history or some word in their language and dissecting it from their etymology. And then I found that etymology is such a wonderful thing. You talk about a word in their language and you explain how it connects to English. They come up with 5 more words. It was a wonderful icebreaker. It was an ice-breaking tool. And nowadays I started talking a lot more. Talked and talked and talked, and until someone pushed me 4 years ago, 5 years ago, into this organization called Toastmasters. And I realized that, wow, I mean, this is a place where you can deliver speeches. You can not just talk for 1 minute, you can talk for 7.5 minutes, sometimes even 25 minutes on anything that you like. I use this platform as a ways to redeem myself all those years that I could not talk. And here I'm talking, yapping away. Yeah, unfortunately today I'm also playing the role of the timer, which means I need to tell people to keep their mouth shut when it's time. I do not know. Can someone just give me? I forgot to press the button on this here. So sorry. But yeah, so these are things that I actually I used to be afraid of. But what are you if you don't fight your fears? What's the worst thing that could go wrong? You either underline your fears in your mind or you undermine them. Thankfully, some of those fears have been underlined, but most of them have tried to undermine. Do the thing that you fear the most, and the death of fear is certain. I wish all of us would do the things that we fear most in a safe space so that we find our strength. Because on the other side of fear lies victory. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Cyril. Some very, very inspirational pieces coming forward. And it's so heartening to hear about everyone's experiences, everyone's unique experiences, yet the common factor being fear that holds us back initially. But both these brave souls have vowed and have actually showed us that they have fought their fears and overcome them. And they have set an example. And they're also living the Toastmaster values of learning by doing. And as Isa said, just jumping into the deep end or being dropped there like a fish in the sea. Whereas Toastmaster Cyril joined Toastmasters and shared such lovely cartoon sketches. I mean, why would you have imposter syndrome is beyond me, because they're genuinely so good. And the rap that you started with, yeah, it really hooked us. We were going. We just needed a bit of a, beatboxing beat at the back. So yeah, we were good to go. Great to hear from you, Toastmaster. And now we save the best for last, our book loving and speech loving and what should I say about this wonderful gentleman who visits us sometimes now in the early days?
Second most hardworking VP in the district.
Don't say that, please, Cyril, because that's exactly why he doesn't come anymore. No, I would say the best VP in this region, and a very avid reader and one of the most popular Toastmasters in the district, because he has probably given a speech in every other club and beyond. Over to you, Toastmaster Nissim Heather.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meher. First, I'd like to thank my parents for naming with the letter M, and thank Toastmaster Sadia for naming her kid with A. So let's start. Fear is an overzealous guard. Sometimes it keeps us safe, like when it stops us from poking a beehive or texting our ex. But sometimes it keeps us stuck, like when it convinces us we're not ready, we're not good enough. It is sneaky. It starts as a cryptic whisper. Maybe this isn't a good idea. But before you know it, that whisper has built an entire factory of excuses in our brain, fully operational, running 24/7. Now, when people talk about facing fears, they might say skydiving, scuba diving, or something that involves signing a waiver. But me, I have jumped off jumped off cliffs, and I'd gladly jump at the chance to skydive or scuba dive. But saying no to someone, terrifying to me. I'd rather let a dementor suck my soul. Someone asks a favor, and suddenly my brain is running a full courtroom drama. I'm standing before an imaginary jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to help. I want to be a good person, but I also want a nap. If I weren't so afraid of disappointing people, the first thing I would do, if I weren't afraid, I'd say no more often. Not out of selfishness, but because protecting my time shouldn't feel like I'm committing a crime. Number two, I'd stop worrying about what comes next. I am a chronic overthinker. If overthinking burned calories, I'd be an athlete. I'll jump off a cliff, but deciding where to eat, that is a 40-minute crisis. So if I weren't so afraid of uncertainty, I'd embrace the unknown. I trust that I don't need to have every detail figured out. Because let's be honest with each other, most of life's best moments weren't even part of the plan anyway. They could even be from sufferings. And lastly, the third thing, I'd make every moment count. We assume we have time to chase the dreams, to say the things we need to say. But time isn't guaranteed. How many times have we put off things? We say, I'll do it later. I'll take that trip. I'll start that project. I'll call that person. But later isn't always promised. If I weren't afraid of wasting time, I'd stop wasting. I'd stop waiting for somebody and start living with more urgency, more purpose, and more heart. Some fears are big, some are small, but they all hold us back in a different way. Maybe it's time to let go and just go for it. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Listen, what an amazing delivery from the get-go. Fear is an overzealous guard. Amazing. What a well-written piece where I feel that you have mastered the art of humor, the art of the twist, as they say. And I love your dry deadpan wit. I think we have two competing two competing wits on my screen. Like on the left side, I see Toastmaster Uskert. On the right side, I see Toastmaster Mism. And both of you are just, I've started to expect that surprise, that element of surprise that's going to deliver something meaningful, but at the same time, make it so enjoyable that you just want to keep listening. Every sentence was so well crafted. And how wonderful. Yes, absolutely. Isn't it easier to jump off a cliff rather than saying no to someone? I mean, so true, man. So true. How relatable. This was absolutely incredible. Although it was a simple topic shared with you on the spot, the way that all of you took it up and the way that you have offered your positive ruminations has left us in no doubt that any thought, when really given the right kind of energy, and when it comes to the talent in this club, it just always leaves us feeling so inspired. Thank you so much for volunteering. It's been very, very memorable indeed. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meher. When you announced the topic, and I was just thinking, okay, should I also volunteer? So I thought, no, I'll be speaking too much in the meeting. So let's keep it for the next time. But the topics were amazing, and all the speakers really did justice. So votes are done.
It's gonna be very hard to vote.
Yeah, literally. Now I will share my presentation. There it is. So today we discussed about rumination, that how thoughts can affect us. If we are thinking, we should be thinking what we are thinking from where I started. We have discussed what are the symptoms and how they are developed, means any childhood trauma or low emotional intelligence. Then we have our symptoms like excessive thinking, talking, loss of concentration. Even it can affect physically. What we can do is we can do exercises, increasing our self-esteem, distraction, avoiding rumination triggers, and all this can be done for when we can identify that we are ruminating. Spending time in nature, interrogating ourselves, meditations, these are the steps or helpful tricks that can help us in avoiding rumination. So I will just conclude my theme over here, and I would say, I would reiterate, you can't always stop thoughts from coming, but you can decide what to do with them. The more you practice shifting away from rumination, the easier it gets. So that's all from my side for the theme. And now I will invite for our next session, our general evaluator. The general evaluator, we have Toastmaster Gulezera. I have seen her in WordWise, and from the day the meeting I attended, she discussed Ashfaq Ahmed book, and the way she described her, it also reflected her personality. Toastmaster Gule Zahra, over to you for the general evaluation session. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Asma. Hello and assalamu alaikum, everyone. Sorry for the camera, you won't be seeing me today. So there is a Japanese concept called Kaizen, which means a continuous improvement. It reminds us that growth happens through small, consistent steps. And every piece of feedback shared at WordWise is a helping hand, guiding us toward a better understanding of ourselves, not just as a speaker, but as a human being. Each evaluation is a step towards becoming more confident, inspiring, and self aware, I would say. So let's further this journey of growth together. I'll be calling the auxiliary role players for their roles and reports and the speech evaluator. Our first evaluator is someone who truly embodies the spirit of growth and encouragement. She is someone who tirelessly support each member on their path to success. An extremely kind soul, she lifts others with her warmth, wisdom, and unwavering belief in their potential. Please give it up for Toastmaster Meher, who will be evaluating the table topics and the language used in today's meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gulizera, General Evaluator, for that generous introduction. As they say, that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And as we know that Gulizera is such a lovely person who always sees the good in others. Thank you so much. So first off, yes, it is truly very difficult to be the language evaluator at Birdwise because there are several instances where your brain stops functioning and you are multitasking and you don't know, you just kind of miss out writing down the phrases that you are too busy absorbing and enjoying and just, happily taking in the satisfaction that comes from listening to these beautiful words. And I've had to really tell myself, okay, several times, oh, Meher, I forgot to write down what he just said or what she just said, but then I hope that I've captured some of those, the descriptive language that we heard today. DTM Talha bin Hamid, amazing use of language in your speech, microcosm of the universe. The carnage begins, guides and coaxes and advises, the triad of adjectives. Trail of entrails, I just love that rhyme. Maggot-eaten corpses of hope and faith. What I would say a lovely metaphor, but not lovely in the literal sense. But how imaginative. Epiphany, one simple adage, a great use of vocabulary. Evil mentor, cannot change my fate, but I can change my reaction. So wonderful use of the literary technique of introducing your conclusion, and so many others. The alliteration being used. Did you mention Duchess of Doom? That was just absolutely brilliant. Wonderful use of language there. Then we move on to Toastmaster Isa. Wonderful response in your table topics as well as in your writing. As I mentioned that you are a master of the triad of adjectives. And you just know how to let your thoughts flow and how to give words to what you want to say. The major part that I noticed amongst the corrections was in the use of tenses. So it's really important that when we talk about, we are introducing someone or we are going to talk about something that is going to happen, we just become aware of, if something is happening in the moment, we say that it is happening or we are having or we are eating. So the ing comes up when we are talking about the present continuous tense. But when something is going to happen, we just use the word will over there. This will happen, or he will come, or she will arrive. And if something has already happened in the past, we just put an ed after the word. So happened, arrived, talked, invited. That was the main point. Other than that, I can talk about the yes. So overall, great description. I think I'll just go straight to the table topic evaluation, where we had Isa. Yes, wonderful response. It was completely unique and it was unexpected. The girls' bathroom, and you had us hooked. And one suggestion I'd like to make for next time is do carry on the story. You can carry it on. Just imagine, supposing what would happen if you met the girl outside and she needed some help, so you could return the favor, or maybe you carried on the favor. Both of those could be ways in which you can complete your time. And your enthusiasm and authenticity made this the best, like a really great response in my eyes. For myself and DTM TBH, we could have been more creative or make the time close to breaking the fast. And
the person who is giving the food, he could be like torturing like me until that time. And then finally, you know, the fast time arrives and then you actually give the food and then I'm satisfied. So there's like a conclusion. Toastmaster Cyril was a very relatable and funny attempt, and it had a very nice conclusion. I'd like to suggest, let go of your imagination. What would happen if we could hear each other's thoughts? I do know we had a conversation about this, a very brief conversation. So I knew this was a special topic for you, and I was expecting you to run with it a little more, make it more emotional. Let go. It's all right. We'd love to hear your thoughts about, you know, I know you have some great thoughts on this. DTM Irfan, what a wonderfully well-rounded response. You started with an opinion and the statement of opinion, and then you led that to a personal example, two personal examples, the morning walk and vegetables for lunch. And that piece of humor that you added, and vegetables are for goats and goats are for us, that really kept us hooked to your delivery. And it had such a lovely poignant conclusion where you kind of came full circle on the journey that now you also, like your father, know the value of morning walks and vegetables, and you also like it just like him. Toastmaster Asghar, what a brilliant opening. So intriguing, and with your regular biting wit. And then your mother-in-law rescued you, as everyone says, the first time it's been mentioned. Yeah, so great to hear from you. Gulizera and Nisam, great dialogue. What a great way to open the dialogue. Do you take help? That was a leading question. And then one person was giving time to the other to think of an interesting example, and Nisam really delivered there. Stories always interest the audience. I love the wordplay that Nisam used. My help is usually not helpful. And Gulizera returning with, it's the presence that mattered. A few other places that I wanted to offer some suggestions. Succeeded me, it means when we succeed someone, it means we are succeeding their rank on the throne. For example, Prince William will succeed King Charles. But if someone is like succeeding where we failed, that means something else entirely. So that is one suggestion. The word of the day was used by myself, Aiza, Cyril, Isam, and DTM Talha bin Hamid. And Toastmaster Aarti, did you also use it? If I missed it, then I'm really sorry, but a lot of the word of the days came at the end. A lot of Harry Potter references there. Loved hearing them. Over to you, Toastmaster Gulizera.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meher. For our next evaluator, I'll just say mom's the word, because if I say anything else, he somehow finds a way to mimic it so perfectly that it leaves me in splits. And at the same time, gets me flustered. Man, can I give a befitting rejoinder to him? He always gets away with it. And I think the feeling is relatable to all of you. Yes, who else? The rapper among us. If only I had known he wanted to be a rapper, I would have sent him to the top-notch factory manufacturing all kind of rappers. The W rapper eats. The respected Toastmaster Cyril will be evaluating the only speaker, DTM Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meher. I'll have to trouble you for a timing.
I can
In the
use it.
interest of
TBH
yeah.
Chestic, thank you so much.
TBH, you're a delight to listen to. I mean, you're exactly what you call a listener's delight. For those who do not know, TBH dropped something like a master class on the rest of us on how to speak. Few things that I could catch would be, number one was the title itself. Very intriguing title. 4, 6, then a 6, then a 4, something like that, right? I thought this was a cricket reference because I counted. And I was like, okay, he's going to talk about cricket. And then, surprise number 2, misdirection. He bursts into song. And then he brings it to Ludo, whereby he connected that title to his speech all along. This is called a master play by someone. Keep the audience guessing. And then Ludo is something that's so commonplace to all of us. Everyone's played it. I think apart from cricket, which is played well, not so well in Pakistan nowadays, I should say that, but not so well by Pakistan, I should say that. But Well, Ludo is something that I think both countries really enjoy, followed by Saab, Serious, Snake, and Ladders. Well, TBH, you play to your strengths. I think as a speaker, we should identify our strengths, what we really love, and how we can translate that love into our speeches. Because when it comes from the heart, it shows. We all know that TBH loves his science fiction. I caught references to relativity, quantum mechanics, and gravity. We'll talk about Ludo. It's the first time that I'm connecting those three to Ludo. And look at that, the triad: relativity, gravity, quantum mechanics, quantum physics, right? When you count a number of three, when you give the audience three things, they remember that. Put a fourth thing into it, they may forget. The rule of triads is really, really important. Vocal variety came in. Vocal variety was always good for someone like TPH. When we started mimicking his daughter Xenia, we could actually see vocal variety being raised. So this is something which I keep telling. If you believe that you don't have vocal variety, bring in conversation. That's what TPH did over there. Language: the Duchess of Doom, the Monarch of Madness, the Princess of Pain, the Trail of Entrails, and what the one look and you're dead, and if you don't look, you're dead anyways. Something like that. I mean, it was a speech that was rich with language, good use of language. And conclusion, again a misdirection there. How to be popular? Well, keep being exploited. Before he laced us with the actual conclusion of the true bonds that he formed with his family by playing Ludo. Now, a few things that I wish he had done better. TBH, that song that you did, "We Are the Champions," 1 minute 15 seconds. Yeah, probably that's 1 minute of content, of advice, of life lessons that you could have shared with us. I wish that you would have probably used that time a little better. Great choice of song, by the way, but yeah, probably a little more efficient in terms of time would be great. Another thing, be mindful of the slang that you use. Screw is a little bit of a tricky word to use. And the places that you used it, probably another word could have just went. All in all, wonderful speech. You had us clapping mentally. I would have loved to listen to the speech for another 10, 20 minutes. Back to you, TBH. Back to you, Chandra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cyril. Now, in favor of time, I'm going to keep my report short. So, like always, the meeting started on time, and just before the meeting started on time, and the sergeant at arms did read the mission statement as well, though there was static that prevented better listening. And when the Let's Word It curator couldn't make it, so Toastmaster Meher seamlessly stepped into the role. And I observed that the word of the day, cryptic, wasn't so cryptic throughout the session and appeared consistently in the chat box. And so did the speech timings. As for the table topics, again, they broke the usual mold, and those topics were kind of playful and thought provoking. I did find them ticklish to the senses. We may have a time slip a little bit during the Let's Word It segment, but that only speaks to how engaging and immersive the speakers were. I would recommend that if the timings are slipped a little, the speakers who are coming after that, they cover it up a little. Maybe the TMOD, but they did it, try it. Yeah, as for that, we are going perfectly on time. The attendance was slightly low, perhaps because it's Ramzan coming up or something else, maybe. But we could have better by having an alternative to the speakers and the role players rather than one person taking up multiple roles. And this, I believe, can be managed by having co-officers because the main roles are already having a lot of burden on them. So back to you, the President Toastmasters, Cyril.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Some very good points for us to keep in mind. Before I take on Toastmaster Asma, any closing thoughts from your side?
No, I've closed it. I've closed it. I'll be just leaving.
Wonderful. All right. Cool. All right. Thank you. That brings us to the conclusion of yet another wonderful meeting of Wordwise. Well, it's attending a word-wise meeting is like attempting a table topic. You never know what you're gonna get, and often you're so happy that you attended the whole thing. Thank you so much to Aarti for taking up a role, and for Mesam for can we see you, Mesam? And this is the place where I ask you whether you watched Titanic yet. Oh, there you are. How was your session? How do you find the meeting today?
It
Maybe
was
even
really
enough?
good. It was really good to join after a long time, and the quality of your meeting I really love the extensive vocabulary used in this meeting
Well, you
by
really blew
everyone.
us away with your wordplay. You really had us hanging on. Do attend more meetings. How was your Let's Word It segment? This is the first time that you attended that, I guess.
Yes, it was interesting.
Template.
It was interesting and a bit difficult for me to take things out, three things out, because often uh, when you're put on in the spot, you can't think of stuff. So it took me some time, but it was really interesting and good to participate in. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for participating. If you felt that you were off your game, it certainly did not show at all. It certainly did not show at all. You were top class. On that note, also keeping an eye on the time. Over to you, TBH, to take on to do the honors in terms of the win. Okay, Toastmaster my head.
No, I said 2 minutes are left.
Okay, over to you, TBH, to do the honors in terms of how we did in terms of great speaking and all the other awards that you have.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So today, of course, best speaker goes to me, best parameter goes to you because you were the only speaker and evaluator. But it's not that easy because we have to meet the time, right? We don't have qualifiers. Best wordsmith today goes to Toastmasters City Hall. Congratulations. Although I agree with the sentiments that it's almost an affront to the session today to be voting on it because all three were brilliant. But it also sounds like a cop out. Best table topics today goes to DTM and Fun Patients. And best major role player today goes to Toastmaster Aarti, our table topics. Over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all the winners. And well, I think I personally, I want to suspend all these votes over here. Toastmaster my head doesn't let me do that. I think the competition is ultimately against yourself. It's how you were in the last meeting and how you are today. I wish all of you great luck on your speaking journey. One quick thing, Toastmaster Meher, Toastmaster Talha, Toastmaster Meher specifically, are we doing tall tales? Are we accepting
I'm going to
entries?
give 1 week till the 8th of March for any entries. Then after that, no more. Like that's it. 15th if someone gives an entry, we have one entry. If someone else would like to give an entry and we have a contest and want a contest, we can do that on the 15th. That's why we're having our joint meeting on the 8th, so that we can keep the 15th for that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Tall tales. That's going to be the first ever tall tales set wordwise. Is that right? Did we have one last year?
We absolutely did. Nuru participated, Amit participated, and Asma participated as well.
Wonderful. Let's keep the flame going, guys. We have one more week to prepare and give your names. You don't need to be a level 2 speaker for tall tales, even a beginner. Like here's looking at you, Isa. Eyes up here. Yeah. So someone who's brand new to Toastmasters can also participate and deliver a very tall tale. On that note, that's nothing much in terms of announcements. We have the membership cycle coming due by the end of this month. We wish to see you continue at Wordwise and so that we can work on your learnings. Yeah, that's largely it. For the next XCOM to have a smoother club, we'd love to see this club membership touch 25. It's at 19. It'll be great to have a number of 25. So in case your friends, any of your friends would love to join Wordwise, feel that they'd like to put their speaking skills on steroids, well, you're always welcome. And on that note, I end this meeting formally by this burst of my pen. Boom. That's it. Done. It's stop the recording and we can chat anytime. Yeah. Yes. Boom.